Here are my top 10 shows of 2021. You know, every year I do this list where I list down my favorite shows of the year. You can find all the old versions on my website. You can see all the past winners, but for this year, here we go. Stay tuned to see what gets the top spot. Number 10, Squid Game. I know a lot of you expected this show to be on the number one spot, or at least a bit higher on this list, but honestly, I found it quite overrated. Yes, it was fun, it was violent, it was entertaining, but the last two episodes in particular bored the hell out of me, and I felt like I was not really emotionally invested in the story. So I really don't think it deserved that much hype, and especially now that they're going to give it a season 2, I just really feel like the story is over. It should just stop here and not be dragged out endlessly. But of course, Netflix needs to make as much money as they can off of it, so they're probably going to drag us around for a few years. But anyway, for me, Squid Game is just in 10th place, nothing higher. Number 9, Money Heist Season 5. Now, part 1 was a bit slow and boring. I didn't love it, but part 2, which recently came out, was fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat in all 5 episodes, and I feel like it really built a crescendo of anxiety and excitement, building to a fantastic finale. It was one of those series finales that really made me love the show even more. A lot of us have often felt like the show went on for too long, and probably did, but the finale was so good and so hopeful and really brought things full circle that it really made the entire journey worth it. And that's pretty rare in the age of really bad series finales. Hint hint, Game of Thrones, Weeds, Lost, you know, How I Met Your Mother. Number 8, Ted Lasso Season 2. I know a lot of people felt that the show was a bit too dark this year. Yes, it was slightly less comedic, but I love that the show really tackled mental health in such a beautiful, powerful way and brought the comedy and drama together to create real pathos and a real emotional connection. And that's pretty rare. Jason Sudeikis just knocked it out of the park, as did the rest of the cast. And although the beard episode was a bit too experimental and slow for my taste, it's only because Apple ordered an extra episode and the show decided to experiment. The rest of the season was really on point and proved to be a really fantastic ride. So I loved this sophomore season of Ted Lasso. Number 7 is Dr. Death. That's a limited series on Peacock starring Joshua Jackson. He plays a very famous surgeon who was basically mutilating his patients. He was really twisted, and it makes for a really dark, captivating viewing. It's not easy to watch, it's not easy to sit through, but sitting through it is a very rewarding experience just because Joshua plays such a fantastic role. The show also features Alec Baldwin, Christian Slater, and the trio are all on the top of their game. So this was one of the most memorable shows I watched all year. Highly recommended. In 6th place is True Story, a limited series that recently came out on Netflix starring Kevin Hart. Now, we all know Kevin Hart as a comedian, but who knew he was so good as a dramatic actor? He's terrific in this mystery thriller, and his chemistry with Wesley Snipes, who plays his brother, is one of my favorite things I've seen all year on TV. Now, the show's mystery might seem predictable, but the finale really twists things around and has a perfect final 15 minutes that really pull the rug out from under you in really cool ways. So check it out, highly recommended. Number 5, Maid of Easttown from HBO. One of the best mysteries I saw all year, actually a few years. Kate Winslet delivered one of the best performances she's ever done, and episode 4 or 5 had one hell of a jaw-dropping twist that I will never, ever, ever forget. You know which one I'm talking about if you watch the show. If you haven't, get ready for a really cool show that really transports you into a really spooky atmosphere, making something truly unforgettable. Number 4, The Good Fight Season 5. The Good Fight is one of the best shows on TV. I know lots of people don't watch it, but you have to watch it because the cast is so stellar, the writing is so impeccable, and the show always goes to unpredictable places you just never ever expect. Season 5 might have pushed the show down lower on the list. It's usually in the 1st or 2nd place, but it's still better than most shows on TV. So check it out, The Good Fight, and you don't even need to watch The Good Wife. You can just jump straight into this one and still appreciate it for the brilliance that it is. Number 3, The White Lotus, limited series by HBO. I loved about the show is that I felt like I was living with them in this hotel in Hawaii, where all these different characters and families interacted in really messed up ways. It was a beautiful satire. It featured a performance by Jennifer Coolidge that is one of the best things of the entire year, and I so hope she wins an Emmy for it. And it was just really addictive. And the best thing is season 2 will be an anthology series, so it will have nothing to do with season 1, except featuring the return of Jennifer Coolidge, hopefully playing a new character. So you can rest assured that it's a complete story that's just so satisfying. Number 2, Succession Season 3. Succession was brilliant in its first 2 seasons, but now it is one of the best shows on TV, if not the best. The cast is still as exceptional as ever, and the last few episodes build to an amazing finale that's just unforgettable. From Brian Cox to Jeremy Strong, everyone is on point with this razor-sharp delivery of crazy dialogue that still makes my jaw drop. Succession is just one impressive show. Number 1 on the list, my favorite show of the year is Maid from Netflix. It's a limited series. It's slow, it's depressing, but it's also so inspiring. It's so beautiful. Margaret Qualley plays a beautiful role. Her real-life mother, Andy McDowell, also plays her mom on the show, and their chemistry is electric. The show is just such a journey if you're willing to commit to it and keep watching right until the very end. So if you've never seen Maid, you have to. It was my absolute favorite show of the entire year. Other honorable mentions that I really enjoyed this year: Hellbound, which had a cool concept; Hacks, which featured the amazing Jean Smart, she was also in Mayor of Easttown; Physical, a really underrated show on Apple TV about a group fitness instructor in the 80s; and Behind Her Eyes from Netflix, which featured one of the best twists of the year. Let me know what's your top 10 for the year, or at least what was your favorite show of the year. Be sure to follow for all the latest reviews, movies, series, lists, all that jazz.